I've been honored to do a number of Black History Month assemblies here. As Wes said, many of them involve Damien Jeter singing, which is one of the things he does best, and thankfully not one of the things I do best. But I'm going to do something that, if you've been here a long time, is no surprise. I'm going to read a couple poems. So I got two poems, both by Nikki Giovanni, who's a contemporary poet. And I'm going to read them both and then say just a few words about them. The first one is called BLK, Black History Month. If Black History Month is not viable, then wind does not carry the seeds and drop them on fertile ground. Rain does not dampen the land and encourage the seeds to root. Sun does not warm the earth and kiss the seedlings and tell them plain, you're as good as anybody else. You've got a place here too. The second poem I want to read requires a little context. So again, it's Nikki Giovanni, who in addition to being a poet is a professor at Virginia Tech. And if you know, maybe remember, maybe you're too young to remember, Virginia Tech had one of the worst on-campus shootings in 2007. And Nikki Giovanni's poet in residence, she's asked to write a poem, speaks at commencement that year, and this is the poem that she writes. When she gets later on, she talks about the Hokie Nation. I will confess that I do not know what a Hokie actually is, but it is Virginia Tech's mascot. So, we are Virginia Tech. We are sad today, and we will be sad for quite a while. We are not moving on. We are embracing our mourning. We are Virginia Tech. We are strong enough to stand tall tearlessly, and brave enough to bend, to cry, and sad enough to know we must laugh again. We are Virginia Tech. We do not understand this tragedy. We know we did nothing to deserve it, but neither does the child in Africa dying of AIDS, neither do the invisible children walking the night away to avoid being captured by a rogue army, neither does the baby elephant watching his community be devastated for ivory, neither does the Mexican child looking for fresh water, neither does an Appalachian infant killed in the middle of the night in his crib in the home his father built with his own hands being run over by a boulder because the land was destabilized. No one deserves a tragedy. We are Virginia Tech. The Hokie Nation embraces our own and reaches out with open heart and hand to those who offer their hearts and minds. We are strong and brave and innocent and unafraid. We are better than we think and not quite what we want to be. We are alive to the imagination and the possibility we will continue to invent the future through our blood and tears, through all this sadness. We are the Hokies. We will prevail, we will prevail, we will prevail. We are Virginia Tech. So I want to say what I think these two poems mean together. Carter G. Woodson started Negro History Week in 1926. And he started it so that people who had come before him, whose stories were not recognized, who did not have a place here in the narrative of American history, would have a place. He started it with the hope that invisible men like Ralph Ellison, like hidden figures like Catherine Goebel and Mary Jackson and Dorothy Vaughan would be honored and would be talked about. When the founders of University High School started the school in 1999, they placed diversity as the school's first and foremost core value. It is the value that feeds creativity, that feeds excellence, that feeds responsibility, that teaches us how to be stewards, that teaches us about mutual respect, support, and trust. It is an ideal that informs how we can be an I and a you and a we. It is an ideal that we strive for in this building and in this world, not just for a month, but for our whole lives. We are a university. You are as good as anybody else. You've got a place here too.